talk here for a minute about Syrah. Syrah is a grape it's more difficult to understand. Say for Cabernet, we've got these very two solid models from Bordeaux and from Napa. But Syrah is more challenging because if you look at its home, and its home is in France, in the Rhone region of France, that in fact, within that area, there are many different villages and all of them have their own style. So you've got Hermitage, Côte-Rôtie, Cornas, Saint-Joseph, and each of those areas have their own style. And then within that, then you'll have the modernist and you'll have the traditionalist. So Syrah is, from the beginning, is much more challenging to understand. The other thing about Syrah is that it's very much a winemaker's grape. It responds to the wine making and the style of making. So you can coax from the same grapes in the same vineyard, you can coax many different styles out of it. So from the Rhone, the most well-known region is, most well-known region would be Australia. They've really made a name for producing Syrah, where they took it and now they call it Shiraz. It's known as Shiraz there. And so you have also, again, kind of a different style. Shiraz in Australia, it tends to be a much more richer, much more jammy, big, fruit-forward style, rather than in France, where it will tend more to be a little bit more earthy, a little bit more what we might term rustic, more acidity, a little bit more tannin, generally speaking. But so you also have these two styles, but within them you've got many different variations of that. Now, in South Africa, we also tend to be between these two poles. And you'll find people that call it Shiraz and that call it Syrah. And in one ways, that might be a good indication, because the guys that are calling it Shiraz will tend to make a more kind of New World Australian style, and guys calling it Syrah will tend to make a little bit more kind of older French style. But that's a bit of a generalization, but it'll help you as a guide. So now, Syrah in the South African conditions, it is a grape that can grow anywhere in the country. It works really well. You can grow it in much warmer areas. Paarl, Swartland makes, depending on the site, if you've got a good site, you can make a very high quality Syrah. But you can grow it out in Elgin, or you can grow it in Constantia, and people are making beautiful Syrahs. But you're going to get a different expression. Out in an area like Swartland, they tend to make a much more kind of olive notes, a little bit more earthy style of Syrah. It's very distinctive. It comes up, it can have quite a lot of perfume, but it'll have, often you'll find this this kind of top note of what we call olive tapenade. It's very strong in it, and it'll have a much more black pepper type of expression. But as you go into Stellenbosch, for instance, in the mountains, where you'll get more refinement in it. It'll be more, the fruit will be more perfumed, but perfumed by having red fruit. You might even mistake it for something else because it doesn't speak first as Syrah. But you'll get this more note of white pepper coming out that's a very, classic Syrah note.